So I want you to know that you are the queen. And queens are well respected. Queens are held as the most superior woman ever. You can't make no one feel like you're not worthy and that you're not valuable, because you are. Like I told you, queens are well respected. Queens are superior. Whether somebody likes you or not, they're going to be well respected. And when you walk up to the queen, you can't touch the queen. You can't even reach the queen. So guess what? No man, no boy, no woman, nobody, no nothing should be able to touch you because you're a queen. You understand that? Queens are valuable, and you are valuable. And you have to know when you look in the mirror that you're a queen. You may not have the crown on your head, but the crown has to be in here. You have to feel and know that, hey, I got my crown on. I'm the queen. I am beautiful. I love me. I am valuable. I can be whatever I say I want to be. Because God say that I can be. I can be everything that I say I am because I said that I am. You have to know these things. And can't nobody touch the queen. So nobody should be able to touch you because you're a queen and you my queen. Like I told you, I'm the queen, and because I'm the head of our household. And you my princess, so you're a queen in training. So that means you're a queen already. Because when it's time for me to step down off the throne, because I'm not going to be here with you forever. I'm not going to always be by your side and be able to take care of you. And, so I have to make sure that my princess is a queen in training. So when it's time for you to put on the big crown, you know how to work that crown. You know how to walk with confidence with your crown on. You understand me? You have to believe that you are beautiful. No matter what you look like, big, small, tall, round, medium. Beauty is not what it is on the outside. Beauty is what it is on the inside. And it's how you feel about yourself. It's what you like about yourself when you look in the mirror. What you see back staring at you, you have to think that that's beautiful. You have to know that it's beautiful. Because it is. I tell you all the time, you my chocolate drop. I love you to death. And there's nothing or anything that no one should do or say to you to make you feel invaluable, because you are the most valuable piece on the chessboard. The queen is the highest of all. You understand what I mean? So if the queen is the most valuable piece on the chessboard, guess what? The queen is the most valued in real life too. You hold value because you are a queen. You are worthy because you are a queen. I'm going to keep telling you this. Nobody should be able to touch the queen. That's why you don't make yourself, even when you get older, you don't make yourself available for all men. Because guess what? Ain't nobody touching the queen, because you are the prize piece. And if everybody is able to touch the prize piece, just like a valuable coin or whatever, or a valuable piece of something. If everybody is touching it, it's getting passed around, it's getting touched, that means it's getting dents, it's getting scratches, it's getting tarnished. And guess what? The value drops on that once most valuable piece. So guess what? You have to respect yourself because you are the valued piece, because you are a queen. Queens are not perfect, but queens try hard and they try their best to hold themselves at a higher standards. So that means, guess what? You have to set your standards high and achieve those standards and go beyond those standards because you want to. Not because of what nobody else says and they're setting the standard for you. Set your own standards. By having self-respect. By believing in yourself. By trying. When things get hard and you feel like, oh my God, this is hard. Or, oh my God, I can't do this. Guess what? There's no such thing as can't. Because when things get hard for me, I don't quit. I go harder. And y'all see that. I model that in front of y'all every day, all the days of y'all lives. I chose not to be a statistic because I said I'm significant. I'm not a statistic. They want to label me as a statistic. I'm not that. I chose not to be that. That's why I work hard for y'all. That's why I chose to get off government assistance before I could even afford to do that. Because I chose not to be a statistic. You never go and you never answer to and you never respond to what society or what anybody else wants to label you as, because you are what you answer to. And if it's not the respect of a queen, it's not treated how you want to be treated, you don't answer to that. You make people respect you. You demand the respect from people, because guess what? Being liked carries nothing. Being respected is more. So I don't care who don't like me. I don't care. Because guess what? Ain't nobody coming up in my face to disrespect me. And when they do, I'm going to handle that. And you don't got to curse them out. You don't got to do nothing. But it's the way you carry yourself. When you carry yourself in a respected way, people are going to respect you. People are going to give you exactly what you give off. So if you carry yourself with respect, their approach to you is going to be different. They're not going to approach you the same because you don't carry yourself the same. You don't do things to fit in. You do things to stand out. You keep their mind wondering. Because when you do things to fit in, they feel like you like everybody else. But when you do things to stand out, that's going to keep their mind wondering. They want to know who is that and what is that and how is that. They're going to be more intrigued. But if you're doing things to fit in, you like everybody else. There's nothing about you that they want to know, because they feel like, okay, I know this person, so I know her. Or I know this about this person because you're doing things to fit in, to be like everybody else. But you can't be that, because queens don't fit in. Queens stand out. When a queen walks into that room, or when a queen walks into an area, or when a queen comes into an area, her entrance into a city is even royal. Because she can stand out. A person going to spot that queen out. They know who the queen is because she's well respected. So you got to know that. You got to know that. You have to know that. Because guess what? If you don't know it, nobody else going to know it. Not that you got to tell them, but you should model it. It should shows in you, the way you carry yourself, the way you treat yourself, the way you talk, the way you handle yourself. And like I said, it's not about being perfect. It's about believing in yourself. It's about having confidence. It's about knowing that you are who you say that you are, because you said that you are, and because God said that you are. You can be whatever you want to be. And I keep telling y'all that. You can be whatever you want to be. You can do that. There's nothing or no one in this world ever should make you feel inferior. Ever. Because guess what? People learn things differently. People gravitate toward things differently. Not that nobody is smarter. We just learn, we do things differently. And guess what? You may have to try it over and over and over. They may get it the first time. But I feel like if I got to try it over and over and over, I'm better than you. And I'm better at it anyways, because I done did it more than once. So I feel like I done mastered it. So I'm better because I say I'm better. I'm great because I say I'm great. Because I feel confident in what I'm doing. It's plenty of great hairstylists, and I think that they're great. And it's inspiration. You don't have to be jealous, or you don't have to feel inferior because somebody does something better than you. Rather than feeling like you have to feel like, oh my God, like they're smarter than me, or oh my God, like, oh, I'm dumb, my answer is wrong because they look smarter, I think they're smarter, or they was better in another area than I was. So you feel like that. No. Everybody's going to have their weaknesses. Everybody's going to have their strengths. And wherever your strengths are, you know you're good at that. So do you mean you go harder in the areas that you are weaker in? You love math. You're excellent in math. That's your strong point. So you know that. You got that in the bag. You know how to read, but you don't really like to read. It may be a little challenging for you, but guess what? That's where you're going to go the hardest. So you know what our plan is for that. But it's always going to be somebody that does something better or less than. That doesn't make them better than you. That means you just go harder. If you want to achieve that and you want to have that as an achievement for you and you want to master that, you should want to master everything. It's a lot of things that I do that I don't do as far as a service every day, but I know how to do it because I just like to know how to do stuff, because maybe one day I want to utilize that, and I hate for anybody to tell me that I can't do it. That make me want to do it. That make me want to learn how to do it, just because in my mind for myself I can say, oh, I know how to do that, or I can do that. When y'all come in my room, what am I doing? What am I doing when I come out? When I'm off of work, I'm still doing what? I'm still reading when I come in there, don't I? That means I'm constantly learning. I'm still reading. I'm still, looking up stuff. I'm still trying to see what more I can learn and how I can master this or how I can master that. Or if I want to be interested in something else inspired me that somebody else do, business or however. Even if it's nothing related to what I'm doing, I like to learn. And I do that so you guys, I can be your first role model. I don't do a lot of things. I carry myself in such a way, not that I'm perfect, but I'm very conscious about my choices because I know that my queens in training are looking at their queen. So it's never not for nothing, but I want you to know that you're a queen and queens can't be touched. But you got to know that you're a queen. You got to carry yourself like the queen. Well, y'all, I just felt like I needed to share me and my daughter's conversation with you guys, and y'all got to take time to talk to y'all kids when certain things, happen, because it may be a underlying issue or another underlying problem that's bigger than the situation at hand. So it's important to talk to them in a certain situation, occurred that magnified something that I didn't notice as a parent for my child. And I have to let them know at the end of the day that they are queens, because they are. So it's hard as a parent, and it makes you get emotional. But y'all have to talk to, especially these young girls, y'all have to speak life over them. Y'all have to talk to them. Y'all have to be involved. You guys gotta, and if you feel like you can't do it, have somebody else to do it. Talk to somebody else about it. Like it's hard, and the devil is out to attack our kids, and the first thing they do is they fool with their mind, making them want to feel less than, making them feel like they can't. So y'all just have to make sure that y'all do that and protect these kids, because at the end of the day, you're not going to always be there with them. And you got to instill the values in them and the confidence in everything. The only thing you can do is try your hardest. And don't get distracted by yourself. Don't get distracted in these streets. Don't get distracted by all this social media stuff that you get so caught up in everything else. And you're not really paying attention to those little signs and those little things that your kids are, that's not even telling you. That they may be acting out in something different, but there's an underlying issue from that situation, but you're missing it because you're too caught up. You're just ready to discipline and you're ready to just snap, but you're not really trying to ask other questions to see why this happened or what is really going on. And I had my kids young, but at the end, a better thing for them. So I always try my hardest, and I always try to communicate with them. And when I'm angry, I try to step away. I don't always just try to just lash out or beat them. The Bible says, spoil the child, spare the rod. So not saying that they don't get their tail toe up sometime. Because at the end of the day, just like I tell my kids, every choice and every wrong choice, every bad decision you make comes with consequences. And those consequences could be big or small depending on what it is. But everything comes with consequences, whether it comes now or later. Your choices matter. But I'm just like really stressing to you all to really pay attention to your kids. Don't be so quick to just whoop them and send them on their way. You gotta I sit down and talk to my kids. My mom was a great mom, but I did not have that line of open communication to where however I truly and really was feeling, I could express that, or I could get it out, or whatever. So thank God that he made me who I am, and I was able to suppress all that and surpass and be who I am. Not saying that I had it hard or whatever, but as far as that line of communication, you need that, especially with these girls. Like I always, and I have a 12-year-old, but she's well beyond her years. She's very, very mature, reminds me so much of myself. So I'm even harder on her and talk to her. Like, you guys have to get a hold of your kids. Pray over these kids. And don't just pray and just do nothing and you still treat them same. You just whoop them and you just discipline them. Like, the only way you discipline them is whoop, but you don't try to get down to what it actually is or what's actually going on with this child. You never know what's going on because you're not really trying to get down to the real issue or the real problem or the real whatever it may be, the substance of what's causing them to act out, what's caused them to do this certain thing, especially when you know that's like a behavior that's not of your child. So something is going on for them to have done that or for them to do that. And a lot of kids are cruel these days, and confidence is a mug, and it's getting even worse with the social media. So they feel like they have to look a certain way, they have to do a certain thing, they have to be a certain way. So guess what? That's even one more thing that we as a parent, especially with these girls, these little girls, and now I love all women, I love all my clients. I think God put me in a place to He put me in a place to be connected with women, and girls. I do people hair of all ages, and I always try to be positive and talk to them, because guess what? We are the leaders of this world, period. And I believe that God chose us to be the vessel to bring in new life. So we have to speak life. We have to understand that we are very significant. Not saying that we're going to be perfect, but we are significant. But you have to hold on to your kids. You have to hold on to these girls, because like I said, confidence is a mug, and it can be ruined in these young girls that's coming up because they have something that's exploited in front of them through social media that we have no control of, and we can't filter out of these kids' lives. So they're feeling like they have to look a certain way, be a certain way, kind of way, for them to be accepted, or them to be liked, or them to be loved, or whatever. And they're not really loving themselves. They're just trying to live up to what is exploited in front of them. So if they don't have that self-confidence for themselves, and you as the parent, and they're doing things to act out, you need to really sit down and take the time to pay attention and to like look and see what's going on and talk to them. Break it down, put in different scenarios, however you got to do it. Because every approach is different. My approach with my oldest daughter is more easier. My approach with the younger one, it's a little different. So you have to learn that every approach to every child is not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. But you got to make sure that your kid and your daughter, your queens, your princesses feel confident in themselves, because what's being exploited in front of them, they don't even know. They have no idea. But their society and social media is telling them this is what they got to be, this is what they got to look like, or they looking at other people because they're smaller, or they're finer, or they sexier, or whatever, so they feel like they got to look just like them in order to feel that way, or to feel some type of way about themselves. So it builds a lack of confidence and low self-esteem, which is very, very detrimental to the person's like their mentality, it can tarnish them. It can ruin them, and it makes them do certain things that degrades them, not knowing, because they feel like this is okay, because I gotta look like this is what people that look like do this, or however they seen some type of learned behavior, because that stuff is learned behavior. So it's important that you instill the values in them, and you talk with them, and you take your time with them. Even our young men, they are very significant, because they're supposed to be the leaders of our household. They're the leaders of the family. So you gotta take a hold of them too, because they have things exploited in front of them too through social media. So boys are not excluded, but I can only speak on my kids, because I have girls. I only can speak on what I can relate to. Not saying that it's any different with a boy, because I have a nephew and he's like my son, helping to raise him and all. So it's very important, and I never really go live, but I really wanted to share it, because it's needed. And like I said, I think God put me in a position to be able to connect with women, connect with girls, to be that vessel, to be that push, to let them know that you can be. Because I know that where I was, I know who I know, and I'm still not content. I'm still not satisfied, because I still want more. I'm still going for more. I'm still trying to reach my highest potential. And even when I get there, I'm trying to reach to a higher potential. So like I know if I can change little things, and don't compare yourself to other people. Make sure you let them know, don't compare yourself to other people. I make my daughter get in the mirror. Since learning certain things, I made her get in the mirror every morning and speak positive affirmations to herself. I am beautiful. I love myself. I am significant. I will not be a statistic. I will not be what society wants to label me as. I'm not a statistic, but I'm significant. I am who I say that I am, because God said that I am. I am who I say that I am, because I believe that I am. So I make my kids know that they are more than, that they are worthy. And I speak positive affirmations to myself, so they see me doing it, because I want it to be a habit for them. I do certain things, and I create habits for myself, and I magnify it, and I model it in front of my kids, so that way it can become a habit for them, because they're watching every little thing. And I'm not the perfect mother, and I had to learn these things on the way. So when I learned certain things, I started changing certain things, because I know that they're watching every single thing. And even though you don't know, and even how you may behave in certain ways, when how your child acts, it become a learned behavior, because they learned it by watching it, by observing. So I am still learning that. So I have still changing a lot of things, because the habits I create and the habits you create can become a habit for your child. And if it's a bad habit, the child is going to pick up that bad habit. They're going to do it. And I speak positive affirmations to myself. And sometimes, we switch it up. You don't always want to just drill things in your head. We do regular stuff, normal stuff. I'm a normal person. I do, sometimes I get out of hand, but I'm working on doing better, because when I realize something, I try my best to do better. And just like I tell them, you try your best to do better, and you practice doing better. It's always, you got to keep trying. I'm trying to magnify better and be a better person in their eyesight as well, because they're learning all of these things. So, and I put on motivate. Sometimes, I talk with them in the morning. I ask them questions, how they feel about certain things, and we talk about different topics. Sometimes we go and we laugh together. We listen to the music. We vibe. And we, we do a lot of different things. But you have to talk to these kids. You have to spend time and talk with them, make them feel comfortable with you. And, you know, you be their friend, but to a certain extent. They have limitations. Everything come with limitations. I tell my kids that everything come with limitations, and people that you deal with come with limitations. I always tell my kids that I'm their first friend. I'm their best friend. No secrets. We tell each other everything. I'm trying to tell them so they get used to that. I'm not saying that kids, when I was doing it, they're gonna be kids. We was kids before we did that. We hid stuff. We don't talk to our parents about certain stuff. But I make sure I talk to my daughter alone. My oldest daughter, let her know if I'm counting on her to look out for her little sister as well, because God chose her to be the oldest, so I told her she's chosen. So we have to know what's going on, and I put on like motivational speakers. Sometimes we listen to that in the morning. I be their motivational speaker. We talk about something. We're gonna ride with the radio off, and they already know. Sometimes they come in my room and I tell them, "Hey, give me a second." Because y'all know I'm praying real quick in the morning. I'm trying to, start my day off right. And now I'm learning like not to even interrupt, because I want them to see me praying. I want them to know what my foundation is. So when they come in there, they just know, like, if they see me and I'm quiet, I'm not answering back, you already know what time it is. But I want them to know what I'm doing, especially if it's positive. So they know in the mornings, and they open my room door, and I'm there, and I answer the back like, hey, I'm up. But they know I'm praying, and I want them to know that. I'm not saying I'm praying, I'm this holy and sanctified thing, but when I tell you, honey, I know how to pray, and I know where my help come from, I know who my provider is. I know what my foundation is, because guess what? My mother modeled that in front of me, and still does. She modeled all things in front of me that gave me values. Values don't have to just be spoken to them, but you're not showing, you're not modeling that value in front of them. So I'm telling y'all, and even if you have my niece, honey, me and my sister tag team our kids. We all know what's going on. We tag team them, because guess what? I love them the same, and I want the best for them too. And I know she's looking at me. She look like my sister. I was like, girl, this girl, she get this from y'all. She get this from you, because she's my sister. My niece looks up to me too. So I feel like I'm responsible, and you never know who's watching you. So don't do things just for yourself. Don't do things just for you or what you like, because there's always somebody watching that looks up to you that you don't even know. And behaviors are learned. Things are learned. Just like when these people seeing these kids and these people doing stuff on YouTube or on social media, and they trying to be like that, and they're switching up their whatever, because it's learned. They're learning it because they're observing, they're seeing it. It's modeled in front of them. So they think that's acceptable. They think it's okay. So we already have things to worry about and to protect our kids from, and then social media, like I said, is added onto it. But it's up to you to instill good values in front of them. Not saying they may not experiment and try stuff and do this, because at the end of the day, once a child gets to a certain age, or however, they have their own mind, their own thing, but at the end of the day, they're going to know where their foundation comes from. They're going to have core values instilled in them because of you. But if you're not doing that, it is what it is. You leaving it up to society to raise your child and to instill values in them. And the way things are going, it's going crazy. The way things have changed so much from when we was younger, we didn't have to worry about all that stuff being exploited in front of us. So, I just really wanted to share that with you all this morning as I was having the conversation with her. So it was, a bit emotional, and I never really share things with you all, and I'm looking kind of broke because it was up late. I was up late, like to 2:50 in the morning this morning, having a talk and a conversation with them, praying with them, talking with them, all of that. So, because I'm responsible for them. I am holding myself accountable, and I am held accountable for them, because they are a reflection of me. Not saying that everything I do is going to be perfect, and because I'm not perfect. I'm not. But when I notice certain things and certain things have an effect that I don't like to see, I know that, okay, this is a learned behavior, because they're kids and they learning. So I try to keep them from certain things. You can't protect them from anything. I don't keep them from everything, because I'm not sheltering them, because they need to know real life stuff. They're going to have to experience and make mistakes on their own. I understand that. But you want them to be able to have some type of consciousness of what they're doing, and to realize certain things. Even when they make the mistake, they're going to know that it was a mistake, and they're going to know how to fix it. They're going to have some type of consciousness or foundation to where they can go back to in the back of their head and turn to. So I just been trying to do that, not even just only for my kids, for other things and other people. And you just never know. You never know. So I am yet working on myself to yet make sure that I can be better for them, better for other people. And I'm very realistic now. So when people ask me certain things, and or however, I be honest, and I ask realistic questions that's going to make them think differently as well. So I actually am working on my nonprofit organization, and it's for young girls, and it's for, because I took on a lot, as a young girl and a young mother, having my first daughter, at 17, and I instantly moved out of my mother's house. Not that she forced me, but because I know I pushed myself, and it's just a whole lot. But I'll probably share that with y'all some other time. But I am constantly learning. I'm constantly trying to be, better, a better me, and not only just for me. I'm also trying to work harder and have more, not only for me, but not only for my kids, because I know how I am, and I know how God blessed me and who He made me to be. So I always pray for more. I don't know what happened to this thing, but so I can be a blessing to someone else. I'm not sure if this thing is still recording or still going live or whatnot, but it's very important that we do those things. And y'all have a good day, because now I was really supposed to be inside this inside the shop prepping some stuff, but at the end of the day, my daughter is more important. And y'all have to understand that even though, yes, I am a hairstylist, and yes, we have certain deadlines and certain times that we promise you guys, but sometimes things are more significant than just this business and just your hair. And when it comes to my kids, they're going to always be first. And I just hope y'all understand that. And certain things happen, that I do have a life outside of here, and I have to prioritize things. Not saying that you're not important, I don't value you, I want you to be satisfied, whatever, but sometimes things happen to where I can't, and I just can't. Like this morning, I supposed to have these wigs prepped, because I usually come in even like an hour early before I start my first client, just so I can be prepping stuff. But this morning I had to handle something else. So I'm about to let y'all go, so I can go ahead and at least open up before my client pulls up. But I just wanted to share that with y'all, and I just try to make y'all aware of things. No, I'm not doing walk-in Saturday, because my daughter's birthday is actually on Sunday, and we're celebrating her birthday that this Saturday. So I was going to post that, but I'm not doing walk-ins this Saturday because, like again said, my daughter's birthday is Sunday, but we're having her birthday celebration on Saturday. So I won't be here. But I'm going to let y'all go and thank y'all for joining in. It wasn't for nothing because I'm going to save it because I want it to be shared because I feel like it needs to be heard. And I'm probably not the first one that's saying it or whatever. Don't really care. But I'm only sharing my experience and, you know, my thoughts or whatnot with what I have dealt with and everything like that. So y'all have a blessed day.